Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, August 6th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you'll see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we were taking a look at OPEN. Been tracking this one very closely. And in all actuality, let's just try to clear things up here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line. Sure, it still pertains, but it was never really that important of a line. But now moving into Wednesday, we have a couple of very, very well-defined areas, and maybe you noticed both of them already. But from a resistance standpoint, all eyes got to think we'll continue to watch that resistance line that I drew in yesterday. And you can see right there, broke up through there slightly, came right back down. Same things this afternoon, broke up there slightly, came back down. So as of now, that resistance area right there is going to be public enemy number one. And you'll need to watch that very, very closely. So it's not like it's a bad thing or like it's destroyed the chart or anything. But just moving forward, that will be the key level where if this overall chart is eventually going to continue on with the current uptrend, then yeah, that trend line right there is certainly no doubt about it being a very, very stubborn and annoying level. On the flip side of things, in terms of areas of support, you actually have both these moving averages now sloping upwards nicely. You have the pink line there, that 200 period moving average. You have the purple line there, the 50 period moving average. And like I said, some nice space in between them. They're both methodically moving upwards. So while that doesn't guarantee anything from the bullish side, it does still nonetheless represent a nice little uptrend right now. So yes, very clean cut moving forward. Key area of resistance, that trend line right there. Key area of supports, these moving averages down here. So we'll see how the week continues to play out. Next one, SMXT, and very interesting scenario now moving into Wednesday. And the scenario is set up basically by the fact that big gap up, huge opening 30 minutes, and then a very nasty move downwards. But then after that move downwards, the price just essentially has gone sideways in this range. And I wish I could say trading was this easy, but it's not. Unfortunately, I can't say that because the price has come down and then started to go sideways. I mean, that for sure guaranteed this is the bottom and for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. If only it were that easy. My point here is it at least plausible? Is it at least credible to suggest and to think that maybe, just maybe, this sideways action here is throwing out the potential that, yeah, maybe this is some sort of a level that has been established from the support side. And I think that is, again, not guaranteed, but a more than plausible scenario to throw out there. So moving forward, key area of support is now going to be basically that 157 mark because, again, nothing fancy. That's just basically right where the price has stopped and at least started to go sideways. So you can make the argument that this pullback is healthy and that, the bulls have stepped in as long as the price stays above that area of support. In terms of levels of resistance, if this is going to try to curl back upwards, key level to watch there is at the $1.80 mark. So keep an eye on that too. But yeah, right now it's just sideways action. So the question just becomes, is this some sort of bottom? Is this getting ready to curl back upwards? We'll see what happens. Next one, PLTR. Very, very nice pattern here has been put into play. So we'll just hop right into it. And for those of you that have watched past videos, you know that this pattern shows up quite a bit. But it is one of my favorites, and I think it's always a great pattern to keep an eye out for. So let's change that to green for the bottom part of the pattern. And then let's just make it all one color to hopefully make it easiest to see for everybody. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the big upwards move right there. And then for you golfers, trying to make it more visual, put the golf hole down here. This is a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed that if it comes up here and breaks up through there, it's going to make a big move. But again, is that at least valid? Is it at least logical to throw out the question of, hey, if it breaks through that level, could it create upside buying pressure? And yeah, it absolutely could, even if, like I said, you want to call that a self-fulfilling prophecy. But at the end of the day, if you like very popular stocks such as PLTR, you like bull pennant patterns, then keep an eye on it. Next one, CWD. Very, very ugly looking chart, but you long-time viewers know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And even as I speak right now, and that's why I like to do these when the markets are open, check this thing out. It continues to bleed and bleed and bleed. But the interesting scenario now moving forward is, can it find some support down at these areas of the previous breakout point, and which also happens to be the pink line right there. So basically a double whammy. You have these former areas of resistance, and just basic technical analysis, when levels of resistance are broken above, they tend to act as support. And not only do you have that dynamic, you also have, you can't really see it because it's behind the line, but you have that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. Again, those things there don't guarantee a bounce, but Is it at least valid? Is it at least a rational thought that the price could come down here and then maybe get some sort of bounce? Yeah, that is a valid scenario. But this is also a scenario where if you're an undisciplined trader, I mean, you shouldn't even be trading anyways, but definitely situations like this, you shouldn't touch, because if this thing just keeps on bleeding, you don't want to turn yourself into a bag holder and just sit there and hold forever. But if you can be disciplined, then you could certainly structure yourself a nice risk versus reward scenario where if you do get even just a small or moderate bounce, like I said, you could be looking at a nice RVR scenario. Next one, ADAP, and we have another scenario where this one's not nearly as ugly as the one we just looked at, but yeah, came up strong and then has had a pretty big pullback here. But like I said, I'm still willing to give it a little bit of benefit of the doubt, but I will say a very, very, do or die, whatever dramatic term you can think of support moving forward is going to be that purple line right now valued at 0.088. And the reason why I would say that's such an important level, and I'm not saying this will occur, but just for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down there and then break down below it, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of this range that it just broke out from. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that explode and then within essentially the same day or within a few days goes right back to where it started, not exactly a sign of any sort of genuine strength. But again, to be fair, it has not done that. So maybe the price comes down here, goes like this, and then curls back upwards. And then from the big picture, you'd still be able to make the argument that there's a low here, there's a low here. You envision those as stair steps, and you still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So like I said, but in my mind, any way you look at it, in my opinion, 0.088, definitely very, very important area of support moving into the remainder of the week. Real quick, want to take a break and offer you up a solution to a potentially very common problem, and that is because of that pattern day trader rule, which limits the amount you're allowed to day trade every single day. But if you're somebody that wants to be a day trader, and I'm defining day trader as having unlimited day trades every single day, then this would be a solution for you, because the market that I am talking about here, that I'm personally doing, not only is there no pattern day trader rule, it's open 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. So there's all sorts of very, very positive things going on with it, but I do understand if you're a little skeptical. So that's why I say, hey, I'm live streaming. I start at 11 a.m. Eastern every day. So if you want to come and see exactly what I'm talking about here in motion, then come check out the live stream. Again, I totally understand that it may be a little skeptical, but I want to show you that I am putting my money where my mouth is, and this is exactly the market that I've been trading. And if you're somebody that wants very active movement, you don't want the pattern day trading rule, you want a lot of flexibility within your schedule to find time to trade, then definitely consider checking out the live stream or just going to the link and learning more about it for yourself. Next one here, looking at NVDA, and not a whole lot to talk about from the bigger picture point of view. If you've been watching past videos, we've talked about the key area of resistance. So again, from more of the overarching standpoint, right up here at the 181.50 mark. On the flip side of things, key area of support is that pink line down there, that 200 period moving average, which did a fantastic job earlier on in the month, holding the price right there, currently valued of that at 174.20. But other than that, like I said, the price is still kind of just putzing around between these two overarching levels. Now today, individually, if you just look at it only today, then pretty wild day. I mean, started off big swing down, now it's working on its way back upward. So that's good to see. But like I said, taking a step back and looking at more than just a single day, overall, not a whole lot going on, but nonetheless, that doesn't change that. These are still going to be, I think, a couple of key levels that at some point this week will come into play. But in the very near term, like I said, if the price can continue to build these higher lows like it's doing right here, that would certainly be a good sign for the bulls. Next one here, SOXS, and I like situations like this. What do I mean like this? Well, where you can draw just such well-defined trend lines. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to impress you or in trying to imply that's a great skill or a special discovery on my part to draw that trend line. You got to think everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn that line. And when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce a movement. So as I said earlier, there are no guarantees, but is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price were to come up here and break through that level, that line right there could create some nice upwards buying pressure? Absolutely. Again, not guaranteed, but a plausible suggestion to throw out there. So from an overarching resistance standpoint, certainly keep an eye on that red line right there. As far as supports are concerned, watch that pink line right there, 200 period moving average currently valued at 745. But yes, in my opinion, certainly the most interesting dynamic is all about that resistance trend line right there. So we'll see if the price can get a push up through it. Next one here, STTK. I'm going to go through this quickly because you already heard me talk about this pattern and I want to respect your time as much as possible. So there's our area of resistance. There is our area of support. And then just to make sure we can all see it, resistance, support, nice upwards move right there. Golf hole down here. We're looking at another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is just the price range. The other bull pennant was on PLTR, way more expensive than this one, which is hovering right around that dollar mark penny stock level. So if you like this price range and you prefer this price range, but you like the bull pennant patterns, here you go. Next one, looking at HIMS, and pretty straight, well, I don't know about straightforward, but at least from the support side of things, you got to think a lot of people have noticed this area right here and are putting in this area right at 54.65. You can see right here that the price bounced from that area all the way up, came all the way back down, and basically bounced off of it again. So you got to think that's drawing a lot of eyeballs. So 54.65, I'm not saying it's a continued guaranteed bounce point. I can understand why you may think it would bounce from there, given it's already happened twice. But it's also one of those areas where I would say, completely valid to think that if the price comes down here and breaks through it, then from a short side, is that one of those areas where a breakthrough there really triggers in the bears and they get another surge in the downwards direction. But wherever you fall in that spectrum, I think the common denominator there is a lot of people are going to be certainly watching 54.65. So keep a close eye on that. If the price does try to bounce, then key area to watch from that standpoint right there around 57.85. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the past videos, but if you have, we threw in that trend line right there just so we can measure the progress that the price has been making. And things are, so far, it's holding up good. Right here, things were looking sketchy for a moment, but to give credit where credit's due, the price quickly recovered back above that trend line. And in fact, let me extend this trend line out right now, because right now the price is close to it, but again, to be fair, it's still hovering above that area. So moving forward, I'm not going to call that trend line a do or die level or anything like that. But in terms of what would make this chart look the healthiest, what would make Tesla look the most bullish moving forward, certainly being able to stay above that trend line would do that. In the event the price does not hold above it, then I would say another area, let's make it look a little different, area to keep an eye on would then be down here right around the 305.50 mark. So if the price were to break below the trend line and 305.50, at that point, things are looking pretty shaky from the bullish standpoint. But so far, so good. Like I said, the price is still above that trend line. In regards to areas of resistance, I'd say the main battleground to watch right now in the near term, right there around 312.7 or 312.15. That wraps up the top 10. And again, if you are sick and tired of that pattern day trader rule, or you just want to trade in a market that moves and moves very quickly and smoothly, then definitely check out the link that you've seen at the top of the screen the whole time, or come watch the live stream where you can see this play out live right before your eyes, ask me questions and all that good stuff, because I understand sometimes this stuff seems a little too good to be true. Hey, Clay, what's the catch? I get it. So that's why I'm inviting you. Come swing by the live stream, check it out, ask me some questions, and I'd be happy to provide any clarity to you. But like I said, this is a solution to people that if you are annoyed by the pattern day trading rule, if you need a little bit more flexibility to find time to trade, then this would be a solution for all those sorts of situations. So thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoy these, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you also swing by the live stream and ask me some questions. Thanks for watching.